Doing people. It is April 13th, 2026. Really demolish and teach.
Demolish.
Yep, really and teach, ready to preach, ladies and germs and everyone out there. Teach daddy. How we doing?
Another beautiful day in your paradise.
Yes indeed. Yes indeed. It is Monday, it is quite the Monday, and it's actually quite weird because I know it's getting warmer because let's see. I'm fresh off of working errands. I still got like the I still got the foaming cream in my hair and I'm not showered or anything else. I still got a dirty ass t-shirt that I got splattered from work from the nickel. And you're probably I think you're fresh off a nap, right?
I am 100% fresh off a nap.
Yep, it's Monday. It's Monday.
Got a new bed
It's the
today
Mondays.
and didn't sleep a lot last night, so
Oh my god, you poor bastard. The pain.
yep.
The pain. So we have a few topics for tonight, and one sad topic that actually caused a stir. And Recon reposted this. Sometimes I get random reposts from people, but this one was relevant. I hate to start off on a very sour note, but we have Alani having a lawsuit against them. And do I think that the plaintiff in this case scenario has any foot to stand on? I do not. So I'm not sure if you are familiar or not. I wasn't until this morning, but we have a 17-year-old cheerleader. I'm not sure if she did in our sport, but I know she was a cheerleader. And it was believed that she died because I think it was something heart related. But anywho, we have somebody who is no longer with us and condolences to the family. However, the family is filing a lawsuit against Alani New. Now, I'm not sure what are the facts versus the fancy, but there is somewhere where one guy is saying, "Who cares? Your daughter consumed 6 Alanis, equivalent of 1,200 milligrams of caffeine, when the FDA limit would be 400." Also, keep in mind that on all of these cans, I'll give you a perfect example. If you look on the back of this rain, this is related to a little bit later, but right where my finger is, it says, quote, recommended for persons 18 years or older, unquote. So again, we had this with somebody with a heart defect with Monster before. This will not be the first or the last time. Even on this Bane can, after it says made in USA, the green square, age 18 plus recommended. Underneath, quote, consume responsibly. Not recommended for persons under 18 years old, people sensitive to caffeine, pregnant women, or women who are nursing, unquote. And then again, it even goes further into it, which I give them a lot of credit. So let's see, quote, intended for healthy adults only. Consult a healthcare professional before consuming this product. If you are taking any medication or if you have any pre existing medical conditions, one can contains 500 milligrams of caffeine from all sources. The FDA has stated the consumption of up to 400 milligrams of caffeine per day from all sources is not associated with adverse health effects in healthy adults. Now, I think that's one of the first times I've seen an FDA warning on a can. Maybe it's because I don't drink a lot of Monster products, but it says it here on the Rain and the Bang can. So essentially, if you are a regulations type of person, if you want to have one rain or one bang and the average cup of coffee in the morning, you are around the line of 400 milligrams of caffeine for the day. And for some people, that is tough. For some people, that hurts them royally. That's just how it goes. But we're here. Anything to add on that tough subject, Teach?
I mean, plenty.
By all means, handsome, you have the floor.
So apparently, the 17-year-old, and I'm going to butcher this word, died from cardiomyopathy, cardiomyopathy, myopathy, something to that degree, cardiomyopathy. Um, and for that did not know, that is a disease of the heart that makes it harder for the heart to pump blood, potentially leading to heart failure. The family are quoting that the energy drinks caused this disease because of the amount of caffeine in the drink. Um, Let me go for record. It's sad to lose anybody, and condolences to the family. But I do think we're a little out of pocket to try to sue Alani for this, aka Celsius, because mind you, Celsius now owns Alani. Because mind you, said cheerleader, they consume this product. You have to be responsible with said product and remember what you are putting into your body and knowing how it is going to affect you. It's one of those like, sure, you aren't truly going to know how drinking 6 of them over a day is going to affect your body, but you should have the simple understanding of this is a lot of caffeine. This could potentially harm me. My heart not be able to handle this. This is why the recommended average is 400. It's like the same scenario in my head of like doing something very terrible for your health, having some serious issue of it, and then going, "Oh, woe is me." You know, the perfect part of this, and for many people of a younger generation will definitely understand. This is the Eric Andre meme of him shooting at Hannibal and then going, "How could they do this?"
Yes.
Yes, it's that perfect scenario.
Also, one thing to add, if somebody is drinking alone and they have alcohol poisoning, do they sue the manufacturer of the adult beverage? Has drinking and driving ever resulted in a alcohol company getting sued? You can sue the establishment and it might go back to the bartender that overserved them in that case scenario. I've never seen a DUI result in a alcohol company getting sued.
It also sounds like they're mostly trying to sue on 2 points of one, that because the drink had so much caffeine in it, it had caused the enlarged heart issue to then cause the failure. Secondly, they're claiming that Alani does not have adequate warnings about serious cardiac risks.
Now, if I had to take a guess, and again, this is all sad. It's very sad. And I understand that if you're going to have a funeral cost, it's tough. It really is. Simply because if you go by the funeral costs, everything else, I mean, if you want them to get better branding, because again, now that they're the same company as here's one. I'm not sure what's going on with Prime, but Alani New and Prime were sold by the same distribution before Alani got bought by Celsius, that is. But if you look at the lawsuit that was at one point where remember, ooh, blue bottle, hydration, blue can, we have energy, and people thought was the same goddamn thing. And even I said this well months before it happened. I said someone is going to get confused and say, "What's the difference? It's just a container." It's the same thing as if I grab a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke. The can is not going to have more caffeine than the bottle. Or in that case scenario, I just think it was shitty marketing by Prime. I really do. I can say that with my chest out. Overall, shitty marketing. I
I
mean,
I oddly wish I had actually had a can of Alani on me because I feel like somewhere on that can there is easily something going to say, "Hey, 200 milligrams caffeine. Be careful." And I'm
it
even trying
says
to
it
find it.
under I mean, it says underneath the label, it says contains 200 milligrams of caffeine, zero sugar per serving. Not recommended for children, people sensitive to caffeine, pregnant women, or women that are nursing. Now, granted, right? It's not in bold print like these other labels are. And this is
You shouldn't
according to
you
a
shouldn't need to though.
KISS label. We say that, but I'm looking at some of these labels here. It's one of those you have to, well, actually, I'm not sure if you can see this. This is on my phone here. You see that orange square right there, or that orange little circle?
Mhm.
It does say 200 milligrams of caffeine.
That part's
So if
fine. I
that's
think
the
their
case,
issue is more so, like, it's not saying like, it doesn't need to have a hugely vibrant off they don't need to have it all over the can, like, "Hey, this may kill you. This might kill you. This might kill you."
so are we at this point where we have to have those like those, have you ever seen a pack of European cigarettes?
No, but this is one of those times in the world that we don't need safety labels on everything. Some things is kinda common sense, and some things do need to be
You
taught from parents to children. People
know
need to have a better
what I'm
understanding.
referring to there?
Uh, no, but I'm picking up what you're pointing down. Not 100%, but I'm picking up what you're pointing down.
So a buddy of mine, visiting from, England, Mike. So he had a pack of cigarettes and it has people like, you know how there's people that like smoke and they have like missing limbs and shit? They have a picture of that on the pack. Essentially, I think the SCC doesn't allow them to do that, the cigarette companies. Well, there's no FCC over in the UK. But yeah, they have the graphic image of somebody being like, I can't believe I'm going to start smoking if it's going to do that. Screw that. It's like if you were going skydiving and the instructor said, before we go on the plane, I just want to let you know that one out of every three parachutes don't open. Are you going to take the chance? Screw that. No way. Yeah. But speaking of, no
Oh,
way.
man, oh, we're gonna
I
stay
have.
on this topic real quick because this is just disappointing, and we could probably use the extra
Oh,
minutes for the episode. The family is also claiming, that they were, fooled or their daughter was fooled by the drink because, this drink is promoted as a, wellness drink, and it is not a wellness drink. It is not a get well drink. It is causing issues to her heart, which unfortunately took her life. No, like, there are some things that people are taking, I would say, too literal of an extent that, like, yes, I'm unfortunately sorry about what happened to your daughter, but, like, they promote it in a wellness style that isn't like, "Oh, you drink this, you're going to be healthy and well." That's not how it's being advertised. But saying, "Hey, if you want an energy drink with 200 milligrams caffeine that does have some biotin, which is good for your hair and is good for your nails, then you can drink this." And don't even get me
needless to
started
say,
on the whole, like, "Oh, she started drinking it because she saw it on social media and she saw her friends drinking it, so now she started to drink it." Don't get me
so
started on that BS.
So is Joey Swole going to have somebody who's unfit consume Rise pre-workout? He's going to lift the bar, it's going to land on his neck, and he's going to be decapitated that way? Is Rise going to be on the hook if that happens? If somebody has a heart attack while working out and they consumed Rise? Another thing that kind of was weird, I I don't wanna name the program I was listening of, but YouTuber Dr. Mike was on Jubilee on a he was surrounded by, people for the debate, and the big topic he said was, "I am more fearful of" basically, he said, "Big pharma over big supplement." For instance, right? Let's take Rise again, for example, right? Let's say Rise makes an iron supplement for iron deficient people. Let's say the product works. good enough where Big Pharma goes up to them and says, "Hey, we would like to extend an offer." That product will go into Big Pharma, and now they have to go through FDA testing. It has to be FDA approved before they could lay as a script from Big Pharma. Whereas if we go by a supplement, they don't have to submit anything to the FDA. I mean, there's some companies that do submit things for testing. I just found out that C4 is now sports certified and is now a sponsor of the Boston Celtics. I saw them in advertisement C4. Oh, the times have changed, yes. But it's letting you know that if you play a sport and you get drug tested, if you fail a test, it's not because this supplement you're taking, which I'm not sure if you know how strict some of these drug tests are
Mm-hmm.
in these sport days, but I'll never forget the girl, the Olympian, who blamed the Mexican street burrito on the reason why she failed her test for steroids. Well, I got news for you, honey. That's how you get porked. But don't bump.
I'm gonna put this in a very, very terrible equivalent, but it's the best example I can find to it. Again, unfortunate situation. No death is uneasy, and it's hard to process, and there's a lot to go through. And I understand there's a lot of hard feelings coming from it, and that's where I feel like a lot of this is
Aye.
projecting from. Because this feels like an odd equivalent to way back in the day of cigarettes and how cigarettes were compared to now. Because back to then, you could say, "Oh yeah, they were being propagandized and they were cool. Everybody's smoking. You should smoke. It's wasn't the worst for your health, etc." And then all this time later, like, yes, now we do know it's actually horrible for your health. It's going to be propagandized to children or younger age people in any way, etc. That's almost as what this is feeling like it is. Oh, she was enamored
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
the social media and other interactions with young people. That's why she's drinking it. 200 milligrams caffeine. It's advertised as a wellness drink. So if she drinks 6 of them, it's going to make her better and so well. Like, no, at some point in the day, we got to have some realism. Come on, people. We have to have some
That
realism.
this is why some countries are banning social media for kids underneath a certain age. This is why. This is exactly why. And for those nations, I can't blame them. Australia's doing it. A European country just started it. For energy drinks, we've already talked about how in some nations they're requiring ID. Poland is one of them. But on the flip side, just remember they sell Red Bull in bars. So if one could say if it's a sold at a bar, it should require ID. But I'm starting to think more and more and more that if it is over 50 milligrams of caffeine, and I think that's a reasonable amount because of some of the sodas involved, that it should be, you could argue, uh, 18 plus. And I say arguable because if you remember in the UK, because of the caffeine content, Mountain Dew is labeled as an energy drink.
So
Factual.
again, like looking at different articles and it being a similar story, it's the fact that like the family's trying to sue that like, oh, this is a air quote better for you wellness and lifestyle beverage, and that like that being marketing is wrong, which it's silly because nowhere is Alani claiming, hey, you can drink 10 of these and your health is going to be so good, your health is going to be over the top. They're also suing, saying that there's no maximum daily consumption limit on the label, which like it's kind of hard to define to an extent because some people, and typically those that are
I
used
wonder where
to
they're going with
uh,
that.
high activity, can handle more caffeine. And also, everybody is different. Some people have a caffeine sensitivity where their limit is one, their limit is none, and their limit is three, is four, etc. Like everybody is different. And as fortunate as to say, this sounds like a part of like we are sad about the um passing of somebody that was not appropriately realizing the effects that this can have and the irresponsibility of drinking six of these, and then it happened, and now it looks like we're trying to lash out and take it out on somebody. Mind you, I understand this is a big corporation. I'm not trying to sit here and defend Alani, but this is one of those like if I'm making the sad situation, if I'm doing the irresponsible thing, I have nobody to take it out on but myself.
Accurate. One sec. I gotta plug this thing in. Ugh. Ah, come on, damn it. One of the best things in life. Sometimes the small things and the simple things are great. In this
So,
case, 6-foot charger's great.
very last thing I'll say, and then I will leave off on it. They're also claiming that while it doesn't have a limit warning, they are also saying it does not have a warning to alert or consumers that the consumption can lead to cardiomyopathy, cardiac arrest, or death. Which, in my humble opinion, one, we have to have common sense to realize it's caffeine, and that caffeine can do such a variety of things to someone in their heart and their body. So, do we need to put warning labels on everything? Are we child-proofing everything nowadays?
It seems that way. Sure seems that way.
Like, it's just so sad, honestly. This
But
is like
also, if somebody's cranked out of their mind and they're like, "Yeah," like Cornholio, and they get into a car accident, is that gonna be DUI because caffeine's considered a drug?
I don't think it's gone that far.
I'm just saying we're not far away from it.
I know where your
We're
head's going,
not
but I don't think
far
it's
away from
that
it.
far.
I'm just saying if somebody wanted to shotgun 2 bangs, have high anxiety, drive behind the wheel, crash into a car, and have a panic attack when the cops get there, oh, yeah, we are that close to it. We are that close. Because just remember, America's not built by hardworking hands anymore. It's built by attorneys.
And now that I was able to use, that article for 20 minutes of our time this episode, continue, I could say.
So I had this idea. Teach thinks I'm crazy. I don't know if I'm the first one to think about this,
He is the
but
first one to think about this. Nobody else would think about this.
and that just shows you how crazy I am, but I'm just doing this for the content and the craziness and the sauce. But we did talk about high energy drink on, conglomos, some combinations. The last time I think we had a good mix was the Monster Pog, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Pick Me Up Zach tried that in the Ninja Slushy Maker and said it was divine. Yeah, a Monster Pog slushy. He said it was amazing. But I have a combination here of sour watermelon gummy and bang lime pop drop. And Teach is just shaking his head and shaking his head. And I brought this to his attention, and he goes, "Buddy, this ain't it. Buddy, this ain't it. Good luck, though. But I'll have you try this by yourself and convince me later if it's that good." But here we are. So I have a shaker. Don't need the ball, but I washed it out. I used this today. I am going to go 4 ounces and 4 ounces, and I will adjust the ratio from there. So first we got our watermelon sour gummy. And my thought was watermelon lime, but I know one's sour and one's more popsicle. I I get all that. But damn it, if we don't experiment or try something or get a little bit crazy, are we content creators or are we just pushing mediocrity? Not quite. Let's see. A little below the line. And both, by the way, if you haven't tried these yet, we have two flavors that are in my opinion, 4.5 plus.
I really do like that rain. I actually did wake up and grab that rain today before I went to go move some bedding and bed frames, and
I was gonna say I was gonna say furniture. How'd I know?
I had to go get a new bed, bring it home, and then take my old bed and throw it out.
Moving sucks, I know.
No, I'm not moving.
No, I'm saying just like moving shit in general, like by moving as in when you move furniture and you gotta do all that, it sucks. And I do it on the side for some people, and there's sometimes where I feel like I'm
Look,
doing it for the screw all of it. And I'm like, dude, I'm not moving this heavy ass freaking half broken thing just for you to tell me to move it back in 2 weeks.
I will
Let's see what
happily
we
do
got.
it again. You 50-50 it? So this is
I
where
did
I feel like it's
50-50.
gonna semi-clash
Four
because
and
it's
four.
sour watermelon candy, which really is already meh on as the flavor profile itself, but he really likes this one. But then it's a lime pop, which is definitely a lime popsicle, but I feel like it has like a lime sherbet to it, even though he says there's no lime sherbet to it. Is it
I
sherbet or
got
is it
lime
sherbet?
popsicle.
No,
I just think this is lime.
how do
I
you
think
pronounce it?
it's.
Is it sherbet or is it sherbet?
I know some people say sorbet. I call it sherbet personally.
Is it Bernstein Bears or Bernstein Bears?
I call it Bernstein, but if you've watched a cartoon, it's the Bernstein,
Mmm.
which I don't know why.
Mmm.
Like, god damn it, now I gotta follow the narrator.
The
You know what I'm
clothing
saying?
line Fruit of the Loom. Was the cornucopia always there?
Yes. And they got rid of it.
They claim it was never there.
Bullshit. All right, here's a good one for you. Damn it, I lost it. Never mind. Well, cheers. Wish me luck.
Salute.
Hmm.
Mm. Mhm.
Yep. Yep.
He's a madman.
I'm a mad lad. Auga. Teach. I know you doubted me,
I didn't
but
doubt you.
you doubted the principle. But I tell you,
I doubted the
this is,
process. I didn't doubt you. Doubted the process.
you know how there's watermelon lime, but then some people like to swish and swatch of different flavors? I think this is pleasant personally. I do.
Okay. Okay. I can see it. I can understand it.
Because the sour will kick in, then you get the lime, and then you get like the watermelon aftertaste. Like it goes in three phases. You get sour, you get lime, and then you get that sour patch melon. But I think this is very nice. This is very nice. This is got you gotta be careful with this one. So people, if there's like a 2 for 6 deal, you and your buddy get 2 shakers or get 2 cups, 50-50 these bad boys.
Double fist those bad boys.
I'm telling you, try the lime pop and then combine these if you can. Because I'm liking this, man. I really am. I'm not going too extreme, like, you know what I mean? I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm not the team extreme. Don't expect
Mm.
any don't expect any Jeff Hardy like craziness from me. But if I had to give this a rating, um, hmm,
Ah, worst derp.
uh, I wish I could find that photo I had took with Jeff when he was in Albany. Oh well. I was in Albany with my dad's good friend and a very good friend of mine. Think we were 17, 16 at the time. He was with TNA. Got to see AJ fight Bully Ray, which Bubba Dudley, but different name. Got to see a couple of guys there. Saw Kurt Angle fight James Storm, but the head match was Bobby Roode, champion versus Hardy. And me and my friend were just doing the "You suck" chant that the Miz and Truth did at the time. And we're like the youngest ones there that were mature enough to understand what was going on. Because it was either like everyone's an adult that's 30 plus, or they're definitely drinking age. And then there's like little kids. We're the only teenagers there at that event. So when they saw us, they're like, yeah, your kids don't know what they're doing. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. It was a good time, man. But moving forward, I'm gonna give this a 4 point. Let me try this by itself one more time. I'm gonna give the lime pop a 4.8, and I'm gonna give this combination a 4.5. So if we're gonna go by ratings, say 4 star, 4.2, got a 4.8, and then we got a 4.5. 4.5 for the mix. So I know that I might be the first guy to mix these up and
And the
say screw
last.
all, but man, the last what? Come on, Teach, you gotta try this.
I don't know about that one, Chief.
You don't? You're not a watermelon lime guy?
I feel like it's just more than that.
So try the lime pop, and if you just somehow just buy rain when they have a 2 for 6 deal or a 2 for 8 deal or whatever, see how it goes. That's just one thing that I would recommend to you. What? I can't believe we tried something this crazy. Like, I think that one's definitely out there. I don't know if I'll be the last one to try, but it's gonna be in my deep thoughts, and I'm gonna say this with my chest out. That this is something that we need to go on about. Uh, by the way, is there any crazy video game take that you have as of late?
I mean, I don't think it's crazy, but the internet certainly thinks it's crazy, technically.
What do you got?
Marathon's a good game.
Jury's still out. It's not my type of game, but I don't hate it. I just feel like we're literally I feel like people are gatekeeping it like we're making fun of them. You kind of know what I mean?
No, no, the situation is that because it's a Bungie IP and because it's an extraction shooter, which is a very niche game type, um, people want this game to fail. They genuinely want this to be another Concord. That's what it is. They want it to fail with some weird hard on about wanting it to fail. But it's one of those that they
I
would
mean,
just give it a genuine try, and if they like other extraction shooters, they would probably like this one.
I feel like everyone wants video games to fail, and I don't know why. And again, it's not like you play a video game that is your favorite currently, and if you play something else, it's not the equivalent of cheating on your wife. But I
Oh,
really think that people treat it that such. Like, hey, I play Destiny. I'm gonna play around of Fortnite with my buddy because he has today off work. Bro, what? What are you doing? Like, that's not what it should be about. Remember there was a time where you were considered a loser that needed to go outside when you were a gamer? Anyone remember that fact?
I
It was the
remember.
same thing, somebody, being called gay slurs because they watched anime or played an anime-related game, or they played Final Fantasy, which also apparently there was a ton of Final Fantasy people that thought that anime was dog shit. I don't know why. Crazy people out there, but you kinda know how it goes.
I
But I
remember.
remember there was a time where we were called nerds, but now it's very funny because there's all these different tiers of nerds, and being called a casual is basically shunning people and telling them to go away, or it's like, sorry if somebody doesn't know enough, or sorry that nobody wants to cosplay, or none of that. Yeah, you're a hardcore and it's okay, but don't bash other people in your way because it's not good for anybody. That's kind of where I'm going with that. And I got one. I wish that Marvel never got involved with Insomniac Games. I'm biased. I'm not in the superheroes. Give me more Ratchet and Clank
Amen to that, brother.
because you're gonna say, "Ooh, Marvel this, oh, Marvel that. Oh, we got these games lined up until 2034 and no Ratchet and Clank game in between any of that." Now, I give Insomniac credit because if any developer is working quote unquote overtime, that is called quote unquote crunch time to them. Ratchet and Clank, with all of the gaming community towards multiplayer MMOs, and that seems to be winning all the awards, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart was a runner up and a very good, hard nomination for Game of the Year, along with Tales of Arise. I'm playing the DLC for Tales of Arise right now. I've spent I've spent dozens of hours on it, and I love it. And I don't know if after this I'm going to play Tales of Exilia like back when I bought the PS3 copy from a guy in the neighborhood trying to eat and just doing off of the memories again, or if I should play Final Fantasy 16 for the first time. But needless to say, when you have Ratchet and Clank, that was a Game of the Year
What?
nomination, the fact that you had no employees off crunch time, and then after the release date, nobody got laid off, to me, that's something to be proud of. And that's something that a lot of people are just jealous of because everyone talks about the darks of the industries of everything from gaming to manga to everything else. So the fact that people still have a job after they release a game just shows you good practices, which I will never shun or talk down to, because it seems like everywhere you go, hey, we released a very good game, could be game of the year. Oh, and by the way, since we don't have anyone buying the game anytime soon or because our job's done, we laid off a couple people. Like, it's bullshit. They treat them like they're goddamn interns, and that shouldn't be that way. Because I'm tired of these people that are spending and trying to make millions, but then they'll fire a guy who's making 60, 80 grand a year. And for what? 60, 80 grand a year, but you're talking about millions. The CEO is making millions. Horse shit. It's absolute buffoonery. It's not right.
Amen.
So, energy drink news that is relevant. So, 3D Energy Orange Cream. Hard to find at the moment, but it is hidden shelves. Heard good things, although little skeptical of it. To be determined is on our list. In other news, I did happen to find a discontinued Monster product over the weekend. The deli on the
Oh,
bottom of the hill still has Monster Ultra Blue.
You know who
Ultra
else has that?
Ooh.
Sam's Club.
Ooh. The regular Ultra Blue.
Yep. And
Wow.
regular Ultra Red. Because Sam's Club still
Ooh.
heavily sells the 3-pack that came with Ultra Blue, Ultra Red, and Ultra White.
Ooh.
Oh,
So, my thoughts since I haven't had an Ultra Blue in years. Good, respectable, tasted how it should. However, I prefer the Hawaiian Blue, and that's okay.
that's okay.
It's kind of like when you have, well, think about it like this. I'm not sure if you know the story about Louisville Slugger, the bat company.
Yep.
So, the father of the creator of the bat hated baseball. He said it was for drunk and unintelligent men to play a child's game because this guy was making spindles for chairs, staircases, stuff like that. But it got to the point where he would just quietly let players in and have his son build stuff. But then it got to the point where things were going terrible and the bats were the only things keeping the lights on. So, hey, the Ultra Blue was irrelevant at one point, but the Hawaiian Blue is like the son that took over the family business and is able to have his father retire. To me, that's what the Ultra Blue and Ultra Hawaiian Blue is. That's, hey, dad started a business, the son took it over. It's now a great success. The dad's able to retire,
Great
and we keep running
success.
strong. Great success, but not mad at it, man. Not mad at it. Ultra Red, go without. It's okay. Same thing with Ultra Blue. It's like, it's okay. Now, as far as the pink, the rose wasn't that great. I
It's
know
okay.
they gave a new skin to the Strawberry Dreams. But again, if you want a good strawberry energy drink, I mean, I guess it'll fit the bill, but there's got to be something better out there somewheres. Maybe the C4 one if you can find it. Again, don't fear the strawberry people. I don't get it.
Don't
I
fear the
really don't.
strawberry, don't fear the reaper.
Yep. And don't fear the clear. I say this because when I took the scoop of the Advanced GG Remune, it does come out clear. Even though it says it has a vegetable coloring in there, clear. Which I was shocked because usually when it says vegetable coloring or vegetable mix and then parentheses coloring, but then I looked and I'm like, it's clear. What the hell?
What the
Okay,
helly?
not mad. Yeah, what the hell on? What the Halliburton? Please get better, Halliburton. Apparently he's got face shingles going on. I mean, dude, he's younger than us. He's got face shingles. Like, come on. So bad for the guy. He's my hero. One other thing that kind of I also thought of just randomly. Hear me out. Close your eyes. It is an energy drink coming out with a black and white tea.
I've heard your thoughts on this. I can't say much because I've never had black and white tea.
You've never tried a black and white Arizona? Please find it. Please find it. But I will say, currently, there's only one tub on my radar when it comes out. There's only one tub on my radar when it comes out. And it's simply because I want to give this a fair chance to love and appreciate this as well as support a creator. I want to try the Rogue Raspberry Tea.
You know, fun fact, I have never even had Arizona peach tea.
I'm very surprised.
right? I've not had much Arizona because of the amount of sugar in it.
I understand. Me personally, I like the diet green tea that they have, but I drank a lot of Arizona iced tea as a teenager just simply because it was the cheapest thing. Because they wouldn't, because if they were a good gas station, if they didn't tax it so it was under $1, they'd keep the penny and we would go on with our lives. That's simply it. When we went by to how much liquid was in there and the best price, like best bargain, it's like if we were drinking Arizona iced teas and you were drinking a Gatorade that cost like 250, we knew who had money and we know who didn't. That was just like how things were. Because that was $1.50 difference right there. It's like, bro, if you got $3, I'm buying two Arizonas and I'm good for the day. You, what the hell? Because we drank water at the house, and then it's like if we go out, it's like, okay, we drink Arizona iced tea and we will just sweat it out. Simple as that. Now I gotta get back in a better shape. That's for damn sure.
I feel that I need to go back to my gym days. Back when I used to consume
Yeah.
1,200 milligrams caffeine. Back in the days where I used to heavily drink that much and could probably handle 6 cans of Alani and drank way too much G Fuel in all honesty, but that just goes to show you formula matters. Heavily trucking and drinking that stuff because I never felt like I had enough energy from it. But
Well,
we have not tried their Formula
also
2.0.
still a caffeine synthetic in G Fuel, and I think that's what really comes down to it. Because when you have a caffeine synthetic, it's not going to work as efficient, and it's also not a proper source, which is why when some people say caffeine, it's different because if you look on the back of any tub, if it just says caffeine on it, it's very likely a synthetic. And if it is a genuine caffeine product, again, the Advanced GG will say made from green tea. Because I like seeing from made from a coffee bean, a green coffee bean, or a green tea. And I think people like regular green tea over a brown tea just simply because I think a brown tea would be too bitter. That way, for if you remember the Glitch Eye brand, which is a failed experiment that is a rest in peace brand, they had dynamine in it that made it very bitter. So if you want something like a lemonade and you want a sweet lemonade and it has dynamine in it, goodbye, Charlie. That's going to suck for you. Or in this case, if you have brown tea and it has that bitterness in there, and if you want a sweet lemonade and it has the brown tea, again, good luck because it's just not going to happen. That's just is what it is. But still, man, I'm still trying to convince you on this. I'm trying to go very strong convinced of this.
Maybe.
Hey, at least I got a maybe this time around. It was a hard no for a while. If anyone is around, please. uh, I'll make a post later of it, but wow, I just realized something. Technically, this is a quarter of an energy drink, so this is 150 milligrams right here. Well, if you think about it, if both these combined are 600 milligrams, I poured 4 ounces and 4 ounces. It's 8 ounces. My math is correct. It's got to be. It's got to be something high.
It's got to be Kane.
Yeah. Are you surprised I finished it?
No.
If I were to tell you that I'm gonna make that mix and I'm gonna finish it no matter what, would you say I was crazy?
No.
No.
I wouldn't say you're crazy.
Am I just that much of a mad lad to you?
You know, to really put a smile on my face.
Don't worry. The caffeine will go away after. I don't know. You know what? That would actually be very good. I think I got a nice pint waiting for me.
Mmm.
Smithsville, red ale, product of Ireland. I drink a pint in the morning. I drink a pint at night. I drink a pint in the evening, and then I feel all right. Pinty make pint, 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 pinty pint, 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 pint. Just some influencer Irish jig, I guess. But it is catchy. Uh, good times. Good. Although I will say, I do find it very pleasant that we had a controversial topic, and it's been a while since we got into some deep feels on the program. And sometimes I
What was
don't
it?
want to say we don't want more victims, but one of the reasons why we started this program is simply to educate people because we still have people on a regular basis that I found out recently that there's some middle-aged elderly people out there that believe that from okay, you graduate high school and the only way that you've learned is either something that happened at work or watching the news. That sound about accurate? So when the only time you see Red Bull is when you are at a gas station, convenience store, or there's a spot on the news saying, "Oh, Red Bull's gonna kill you." Well, guess what? It's been 20 years later. Oh, you drink that? One of the reasons why we started this program. No, not all energy drinks have sugar in it. No, one Red Bull's not going to kill you. Your double espresso macchiato with 4 pumps has more sugar in it than my regular this and that. I've seen some Dunkin' Donuts combinations where it's just like you're better off buying a because like when you see some of these ventis, I look at the sugar content in them and I'm like, that's the same content as a Monster BFC. Granted, there's no taurine and the artificial flavors and the caramel color in it. I understand there might be a different comparison. Well, if you were talking about the argument of sugar, let's call a spade and say that they're both not desired. There's a reason why they say, hey, I gotta go with my coffee in the morning, same. There's a reason why they say to boost metabolism, they say black coffee. That's not sweetened coffee. And there's so much different sweeteners out there because some people are milk people. Some people are heavy cream. Some people are heavy cream that have trans fats in it. It's different. And again, we're one of those countries where trans fats is okay here, but coffee mate's banned in the UK because of the trans fats. People forget. People big fat forget. Isn't that amazing? It is suckish out there. But I mean, again, it's just crazy. Uh, I also found out something too. You know how we were talking about safety guidelines and everything else?
Mm-hmm.
I had replaced lithium batteries over the weekend. And then, like, because, like, again, when you buy something from Amazon and it has lithium batteries in them, you know how dangerous those things are, right?
Very.
There's so many people that go too much work, just toss them in the bin wherever they go. You know, when I worked at a transfer station for 6 months. There were 2 fires because of batteries. And that's you wanna know what the one thing is that I found out that you can do? Now, mind you, these were only AAA. They were 100, what is it, ampage hours or something like that? Is that what the stands for with the electronics? Amp hours? So, I have 100 amp hour AAA batteries. I learned something when I worked at Harbor Freight. Take them out, put electrical tape on the male and female, throw them in a plastic bag. They have a battery disposal at Home Depot. And again, that's serious because I don't want any damage done. And I know there's some people like, again, there's like a video and one guy's like, nah, too much work. Just throw it in the bin, be a man. Someone's saying, nah, I'm going to throw him in a puddle of water and watch him explode. All these things. But we're going to see pretty soon. I mean, again, I'm always concerned about people's well beings, and I do not want to be responsible for somebody else's life or death. That makes sense. I'm always just trying to be better. I've saved a few lives in my life, in my opinion, and why not save more? Right? Let's see. You know what? Depending on what happens next week. You want me to watch this and you want to try Tropicilla? Or you want to save that for next time around?
We'll save it for next week because we hit the hour mark.
All right. Next week, people. I think this is the only one that's on our list left. I
We
could
got
be wrong.
2.
I'd have to find the packets, but it's Tropicilla and what's the next one? A strawberry or something? Maybe?
I think it's a neon punch.
Neon Punch. Ah. Not sure if we tried that before or not, but
No, we haven't because the one main reason why I know this is because you sent me 2 of all of these samples, and the ones I still have 2 left are these 2.
mm. So on your own, did you find any these are all scattered all over my here they are. Yeah, Neon Punch and Tropicilla are the ones left. So I'm not sure if we tried Neon Punch before.
I don't
I
think
know
we did.
Ty, I know there was Bitberry Lemonade and there was something else fruit punch related he had. I'm not sure if this is the right one or not. I hope my memory comes back to me. The cherry bomb I thought was just okay.
It was just
And
okay.
this I wasn't sure if I liked this or not when I had another sample of this. I used to have a sneak shaker before it got too thrash and I had to toss it, but I guess we're gonna find out next week finally. But it's very interesting and the part that sucks and the only thing that would makes things very frustrating on my end is because Sneak has released so many good cans from what I've heard that we will never be able to get our hands on. Not just so tariffs aside, right? Tariffs are going to happen no matter what. And also remember that Red Bull is an Austrian product, whereas Monster is a US product. But when we have a UK product that doesn't have nearly the cult following as the other bigger brands we've seen, and again, I think in powder they have a distribution here. Let's see. Trying to think here. Has a California label on it. I know that. Let's see. Manufactured in the US for Sneak Energy US. 200 Continental Dry Sweet 402. Nork. I think DE is Delaware, right?
I think so. I believe so.
Let's see. DE State. Delaware. Interesting. I also find it funny how everything I've tried has been moving further and further away from me. I was a G Fuel guy. That's in New York. The facility is like an hour, hour and a half away. Then it's like, oh, okay, Juju's in St. Louis. Alti's in St. Louis. Glitch was in Florida. There's another company in Florida. Um, Rogue is in Wisconsin, I believe. Just all these crazy things. I feel like I'm just moving all over the place. And now we have freaking Delaware here. But still, trying to get some of those cans with those new flavors that they're putting in the cans. Just one of those things like my buddy's sneak person and I could just imagine where it's just like, hey, request going to the UK. Yeah, grab me every can of sneak energy drink and I'll pay a double for it in the UK amount. I'll pay you in the pounds. Trying to see what flavors they have with it. Oh, and hmm, I'm not sure if I'm always so skeptical of this. We haven't tried this, and that's because it goes into the protein and supplement section versus the energy, but all these companies trying to make protein shakes and meal replacements, I wonder sometimes. Like a lot of people have been turned off from Huel because of lead content. Although I think somebody in the Europe makes it. But I see something very similar from Sneak. It has, I think it says 17 servings. Yeah, 17 servings, 21 essential vitamins and minerals, 31 grams of protein. The price is $40. So it's just over $2 a serving, $2.35 a serving. But again, I just wonder some of these. Like banana flavor is going to be good. You can't go wrong. But every time I see some of these energy drink companies go on to the protein shake or the meal replacement, which it's never replacing the meal for me. I get too hungry too quickly. Maybe a snack. But like G Fuels, we still haven't tried. I don't believe.
Nope.
Even though that technically is a combined. And I want us to try Weld at some point because it's got the. Just remember, some college baseball players. They said I'm tired of buying a fair fair. Oh, is it the Fairfield or the far whatever? It's a protein shake and it keeps going up in price. Fairlands, I think. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's like okay, you're in the greater New York City area. Energy drink, protein shake, $10. Protein bar and energy drink, $9. Hey, I have an energy drink, 200 milligrams of caffeine, 18 grams of protein, under 100 calories, or average serving cost of $3 to $4, depending on where you are, tax, can deposit, everything else, which I think is a great concept. And I think they're going to rival Rise one day if they actually get bigger and more marketing, direct to consumer, retailer, and everything else. But some of these products, I really think with my chest out that they're doing very well. But when I see the meal replacement and then we see, hey, how much is a serving? Rounded up to $3. How much protein? 20. Why we gotta buy a big bag if it tastes like shit or if it has a grainy texture? When we can just go to a protein bar that we could try it by one, we could find it anywhere. And if we don't like the one, we can just toss it and not say we invested something huge. Now, lucky for them, they actually do have a sample where you could actually try two of them. which I think is great because not everyone offers that. Like I tried Huel from my coworker once, maybe twice, simply because I was in that market at the time. Now I'm not anymore, but if he didn't offer it for me, I may have got suckered in and bought that bag. That's a $40 bag of 22 servings. But also, I don't want any company losing money on a poor mistake either. I don't know who's regretting it and who doesn't. Because let's be real here. And I know this is gonna dig a little salt in the wound, but when Glitch had that protein thing fall through, I don't know how much money went inside of it. But if you had to guess, how many creators would actually be promoting that shake versus a energy tub?
I can't say, but I wish it would have done well because it probably would have been honestly well. There's many people looking forward to it.
I think that could have been really the secret before the downfall, and I think that really could have kept the lights on for a bit longer. I I mean, again, that was just kind of like the downfall based on the history. But I won't get too far into that. Any final words, Teach? I know I've rambled on a little too long.
That's all, folks.
All right, everybody, enjoy your Monday. Enjoy the warmer weather, although remember it's in between season. Dress accordingly. Remember to nourish. Remember to enjoy the weather. Stay warm, stay safe, stay healthy. Drink your freaking water, caffeine optional. Tell your loved ones you love them, and let's get through this week. Love yous, and hopefully we see you the following